The Google Pixel 8a has officially arrived. Now, I purchased this device from Google's online store for $499 plus expedited shipping. It comes in 4 different colors at 128 gigs, with the obsidian color being the only option sporting a 256 gig storage size. What the hecking heck? Can I get green with 256? Apparently not. Now, I will have a full review, which will be upcoming after I've had some time with this device, but given that this just came in today, who is it for? Well, of course, I have been studying the public specs, which are incredibly similar to the Pixel 8, but there is a $200 difference in price. There are very few substitutions or downgrades from the 8 model overall. So what do you say let's go ahead and open this baby and take a look? Okay, so let's get to unboxing this new Google Pixel 8a. Here's the box for the Pixel. Nothing new here. It's actually pretty small compared to my 8 Pro box. On the back, we have the description. Of course, it is the Pixel 8a, 5G sub-6, 128 gigs. I do have to say props to Google for making it super easy to remove the tape. Ooh, okay, so first impressions. This is definitely a lot brighter than the mint green Pixel 8 Pro that I have. I'll show you that one in a second. It's interesting that there's a piece of adhesive paper covering up the top section of the Pixel phone. I'm assuming that's to protect it from any kind of scratches. It's a pretty minimal area to protect it. Kind of weird. Sliding that off. The screen looks pretty average. The back of this, it's this nice matte soft texture, but it definitely feels kind of plasticky. I do like the matte siding and how it complements the green color of the exterior of the device. Everything else on here looks pretty similar to my other Pixel devices. Let's see what comes in the box. We have a USB-C to USB-C cable. Always appreciate having the cable in the box. It makes transferring data from your old phone super simple, unless you do it wirelessly, of course. We have the USB-A to USB-C converter. We have a SIM ejector tool and just some regulatory information in here. Nothing super special. There's not much to the unboxing, but I did want to compare this just a little bit on aesthetics alone to the Pixel 8 Pro, which I do have in hand in the mint green color. You can tell immediately that the color is a lot more muted on the 8 Pro versus the 8a. The back of the 8 Pro definitely feels like a nice matte glass, while the plasticky back on the 8a, it definitely feels cheaper. Not necessarily a bad thing, but I do worry a little bit about scratches. So obviously we have a shiny frame on the 8 Pro versus the matte green frame on the 8a, and there is an obvious size difference here too, both horizontally as well as vertically. And we also see a stark difference with the camera bumper, with the 8 Pro having obviously those extra lenses and the 8a having a little less spec and features in the camera bumper itself. I'm gonna go ahead and start this up and begin the setup process. So I noticed immediately when I turn this on that the bezels are thick. It is a thick boy in terms of bezels. If I compare this right next to the 8 Pro, you can see a huge difference in terms of how big the screen is compared to how big the bezels are. So we have that bigger screen on the 8 Pro and the narrower bezels. Physically, the 8a has a smaller screen, but it has those really big bezels. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this set up. I am just transferring data from my old 8 Pro, which I'm still using on a consistent basis. Setting up your phone via QR code from an old Pixel device makes things pretty fluid and very efficient. It automatically signs you into your local Wi-Fi network, and you can also pick and choose which items you want to bring over. The setup process easily detects and verifies that you are who you say you are when you're trying to copy over that information, and you have to keep both devices unlocked. During the setup process, you can also set up your fingerprint unlocking as well as face unlocking. Between my old device and my new one, it took about 10 minutes for me to transfer and copy all of my old data. I always turn off any diagnostic settings just for privacy, and once it's done, I can just hit done and go on to the home screen. One thing I immediately noticed is the Pixel 8a definitely has a dimmer screen than the Pixel 8. Without even having the specs memorized yet, you can really tell if you look at the 0 and the 2 in the clock. The 0 and the 2 are a lot brighter on the Pixel 8 Pro than they are on the Pixel 8a. You can also tell based on the vibrancy of the mountain behind the clock. We got them thick bezels. I do have to say though, this is very comfortable to hold in hand. Like, it's the perfect size for my little hands. But as much as I love it, just for work and for as much prosumer content that I'm constantly consuming or I'm constantly producing myself, I like having a bigger screen. So I always go for the Pro Edition phones. In terms of storage, we have about 14 gigs used up by the system, and this is on my 128 gig storage device. And I've only used about 3 gigs for my apps. I was looking into the display settings. I noticed that there's only 2 settings for colors. Those are natural and adaptive. It's a little hard to tell on screen, but you can see this in person, changing it between natural and adaptive. Natural is a little bit duller, adaptive is a little more saturated. If you go into your display menu, smooth display is disabled by default. So if you want this to go up to 120 Hertz, go ahead and enable that. And then of course you can tap or lift to check your phone. My phone immediately had a couple of system and Google Play setting updates that needed to happen. So there's a security update that had to happen, as well as a Google Play system update. So I'm gonna let those run, and then I will play with this device a lot more over the next week so I can bring you a full review. By the way, if you are not subscribed to my YouTube channel yet, I have a whole bunch of really exciting videos in the pipeline, and I can't wait to show you those. I have a networking rack upgrade, I have some laptop reviews, a gaming laptop, so I'm really excited for the next month to come and everything after that. And of course, you can always join my memberships over on Patreon or right here on YouTube. Everything helps and everything is truly appreciated. It's a win-win in my book because you end up getting early access to the videos along with a bunch of additional perks, and it supports my channel. It is so fun to have this pretty green Sailor Jupiter aesthetic in my life now for a smartphone. I am expecting a teampixel 8a in the mail, but in the meantime, this will be my review unit. Now, luckily, my order arrived just in time for a trip to Cabo, which, yay! I've never been to Cabo, so this will be fun. So I will bring this with me, take some photos, and compare it to my other Pixels. Of course, with all my reviews, let me know if you have any questions. I would love to feature some of your questions in my full review once I have posted that video. And as always, do not forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Join our sparkly and nerdy community that we have here on YouTube. Thanks for watching. Bye, y'all.